introduce himself. Now, I screw up people's names sometimes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
my name is Ben Pruitt. I'm an online health and fitness coach. Been in the game for a couple years now. Really started taking off after COVID. And my passion is just spreading information and knowledge to the people who need it, so that way they can become the best versions of themselves.
Yeah. So now I go to Destination Dazzle. I'm not promoting Destination Dazzle. You know, I go there. So I seen him at the gym. Were you getting ready for a show? What were you doing?
When was this?
It was. I think this was last year. Because remember, I used to work with Joe Mackey for a while.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You were there.
I don't know if I was getting ready for a show at the time. I think the first time we met, I was just, training. Just with the show in mind in the future. I was training with intentions of doing a show at some point.
So I seen this dude. You had I don't know if you had a tank top on, you had something on, but you can see when people are serious about working out.
Yeah.
You can tell. Because a lot of kids come there, they work out, they got a little tank top on, they got no legs.
Yeah.
They got a good body, but I noticed, I'm like, this guy, and I noticed you, I know one of you was outside waiting for someone you was leaving, and I noticed you several times you came to the gym, and I pay attention about the gym. This is my business.
Yeah.
And people are learning from people that have no idea about fitness. They're making up movements, they just doing whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was impressed the way that you would carry yourself in the gym. You follow through the movements. You were consecutive. You always consistent. You like you were doing something. Like you know what you were doing.
Yeah.
And I watched your technique, how you move the weight. I pictures everybody, like I said, and I just noticed you, and I was impressed with your physique. And I was on Instagram, and I came past, and I seen your picture. I'm like, this dude. I watched all your video content. I'm like, this dude is pretty smart. So he knows what he's doing. And so I thought I'd reach out to him and then, hit you up and see, will you be interested in having a conversation? Because I'm big in educating people.
Yep.
People are lost when it comes to wellness. They have no idea where they're going. And the people that's coached them, guess what? They lost too. They have no idea what they're doing.
Yep.
And they're passing along misinformation without any experience. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Or they're robbing people of their information and making their words their own when it's not theirs.
Right.
So, and you have a lot, I feel like you have a lot to share, and I think a lot of people can learn from what you got going on as your experiences, life experiences, that can kind of put you as an expert in your field of your profession or studies, whatever you want to call it, and you have relevant content to share with people, and that's the reason why we're here, is just to get your intake on what is wellness thing about. People are lost, and they need to be guided back, like sheeps and dogs. They move people along. They need to be, guided back and put in a position where they're in the best position to understand how to move forward with their space of wellness, mental health, whatever have you.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that there is a lot of misinformation out there. A lot of people who are just kind of blindly moving through, I guess, their journey without any real direction. Like, everybody has this outcome that they want to achieve, like this target.
Yeah.
And I think like they're shooting for the target, but they just don't have the right type of aims.
Yeah.
And so my goal is just to help people get like those small millimeter shifts in their, day-to-day life, because I think a lot of people think they have to make these drastic changes. But in reality, it's just like, people are just barely missing the mark.
Yeah.
But once we just dial certain things in, it's just like we can hit the bullseye for them. So that's like the goal, is just really analyze, take the time to get to know the people that I'm working with. I understand that nothing's going to happen immediately, overnight. But the more that I take my time and get to know these the people that I help, the more I can fine tune the process and really teach them the best way to go about utilizing the information that I give them to apply to their specific situation.
So question now. With that said, I watch a lot of people. I'm not gonna say the gym name. I'm gonna say this name. The trainers, some of the trainers are misinformed, and I watch a lot. Not all of them, but some of them are. But I'm not name dropping. I'm not blaming anyone for where their education come from. But I'm more big on being a student of my craft. If I'm training, is like medical or medicine type of deal, because you can help someone. Because back then they didn't have all this sort of medicine. They suggested working out, exercises. They keep your body going, keep your body working, keep your mind functional, and that's how it was back then. And so a training regimen is just the same thing as a medical regimen. If you follow me on that, because that's where that's how your body is able to best to help itself recover and heal itself through nutrition, eating right, and also doing exercise every single day. So with that, but you got to have a certain mindset to be able to put yourself in this position to help someone out. What do you think about that? Do you think there's a mental health aspect to this, or because who gets up and want to go out and work out? Why would somebody want to do that? People are reluctant to do what they do every single day. They're happy with being where they're at.
I think when it comes down to, exercise and becoming a better version of yourself, it's like you have to have a strong why behind what you're doing. Like, just going to the gym and getting bigger muscles and having a better aesthetic, it's never really enough to keep it going, in my opinion. Like, I think you have to really establish a strong why. So for me, my goal, and the reason why I train the way that I train, and the reason why I continue to show up, is just because of my past. I think in my 20s I spent a lot of time engaging in behavior that was just self-destructive. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but I used to do drugs like every single day, and I was constantly going down this path where, like, I would wake up in the morning, do whatever I had to do to just get high for the day, and that was how I would, like, cope with life, you know what I'm saying? And so once I kind of got through that, I realized that it was just a habit that I was going through, a habit of self-destruction. So once I flipped the switch and realized, like, I want to go and do things that are habitual for self-improvement, I realized, like, well, what's the one thing that I can do every single day that's in my control to become better? And so I was like, well, I can feed myself really good foods. I can make sure that what I put in my body is healthy, and supportive of just longevity. So I put myself on a diet plan, and then I was like, and then I can move my body every single day. And that's what I did. So for me, it was just about getting better and, like, breaking the cycle, because I wasn't happy with where I was at in life. I wasn't happy with my job that I was doing. I wasn't happy with how I was carrying myself. I just wanted to be better, and the way that I did that was just forcing myself to literally feed myself good foods and move better every single day.
Because I noticed too, you have good genetics, and I'm a genetic freak. I do a little bit of something, and I blow up and look like I look now with no effort. So, but that way you look and the way your body's structured, it has to be a family gene there. Somebody had to give this to you, either because you said you eat good, whatever, and that's not normal either. Because most folks, they eat whatever under the sun. So what's the
So I do think
what's the ingredient for that?
I do think I have good genetics. Like, that's one thing. But I
also, you do have good genetics,
yeah. I also think that I had a really good upbringing as well. So I remember my mom would always cook, like, lean meats. Like, we didn't eat a lot of red meat. We didn't eat a lot of high processed, like, buttery, fatty foods. Like, we didn't eat a whole lot of soul food. We didn't eat a whole bunch of that stuff. We just ate lean meats, vegetables, starchy carbs that were clean. Like, we didn't have a bunch of fatty foods in our diet growing up. So that was just kind of instilled in me from a young age. We had, like, relatively, I wouldn't say like small portions, but they were balanced portions. Like, I remember my mom would, like, show me the food pyramid. She'd be like, this is what you need to eat, like this, that, blah, blah, blah. And so she had everything, like, dialed in. We had some, like, processed foods in the house, but just for fun. Yeah, but our diet was, like, consisted of, she would cook pretty much every single day, and we would eat, vegetables, we would eat clean carbs, and we would eat lean meats. So that was just something that was instilled within me. So I was always, like, a leaner guy growing up, and then that on top of, just the genetic makeup that I have, it just kind of played a good role, or played a huge role in where I'm at now.
So, well, what's your mother background? She just.
She used to play sports and stuff when she was younger. Like, she was active. Like, but
you have a background in you were genetically dispositioned for this.
For body
fitness bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding. I wouldn't say sports. I'm not the best athlete, but building muscle and staying lean.
Like whatever.
It takes a lot of intention still.
But some people, it come easy for some people. Like me, it's whatever. Like I said, the way you shape, man, it's easy. It's just like a no-brainer.
Well, yeah. I've gone through a lot of development. I wasn't always, in good shape. You know, there have been times like in my early 20s when I looked like, you know, the smallest guy out there, not even impressive. You
So
know,
you would consider as an ectomorph, that's correct?
yeah, just really small. Like I was a
Okay.
small, skinny dude. If I don't work out and if I don't eat right, like I get really, really, really small, and it's not impressive.
Oh,
So
okay.
like,
I
it's
see what
not
you're
like I
saying.
just wake up and you know I have this. I really put a lot of work into what
Okay.
like a ton of work into what I do. Everything that every part of my day, from the time
Mhm.
I wake up, you know, everything that I think about is just okay. How can I build my physique better?
Mhm.
You know, that's the goal.
Wow. Okay. Like I said, sometimes you take things for granted. I've been doing this for over 30 years.
Uh huh.
I started working out when I was 14, so many, many years doing this, and I'm 47. So this is a long time of doing this. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like it's like a no-brainer. It's just something I was born doing,
Hmm.
and it's like it's like it come easy, but you take for granted the process that people have to go through.
Right, and that's the thing. I think for me also, like there was a time when you know everything was just firing, and I was just kind of
Hmm.
started to take it for granted, and
Uh-huh.
that's when I realized that I needed to kind of take it to the next level.
Okay.
Well, I remember one day I was sitting. It was a Sunday,
Hmm.
and it was like July of 2021.
Hmm.
I think so, about a year and some ago. I was sitting there. I didn't have any food prepared, and I was hungry, and I didn't know what I was going to eat next. I didn't want to order a pizza. I didn't want to order like a burger or anything like that. And I was just like,
Hmm.
yo, I don't have my meals planned, and I was just like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
because I take that for granted, so I would just do
Uh-huh.
it all the time. I was like, I can't, I'm not gonna let another day go by to where I don't have a plan. So I literally like just made the decision right there in that moment to call someone and hire them to you know
I'll catch you.
to dial in my plan. So that
Uh-huh.
way, because I felt myself getting comfortable,
Hmm.
you know, in the habits that I had,
I
you know,
got you.
built. It's just like, you know, I wake up in the morning and it's like I can make it through my day and I can still see progress. But I was like, no, I need a plan again because I was falling off plan. So just that little day where I was like literally hungry for a few minutes was enough for me to know that I needed to reel myself back
Structure and
in.
everything.
Yeah.
So you basically got an accountability person.
Yeah, I got
to
a
help you with
coach. I
that.
hired a coach, and I my intention with hiring my coach was to you know go through a building phase, but he was just like he looked at me, he's like, nah, you're gonna go compete, and he's like we're gonna do this show on this day, and you're gonna win. That's what he told me from the first time he like had from the first interaction, and you know, I'd had people tell me like, "Oh, you need to step on stage before," but like just the certainty that he had and the vision that he had, he's like, "This is what you're gonna do. This show, you're gonna win, and then we're gonna go for our pro card." And it's just been,
But you know what? It takes someone to believe in us and see us different when we see ourselves.
yeah. I mean, I'm super grateful for my coach.
Hmm.
For Don Lamb, shameless plug, Don Lamb.
Hmm.
He really believed in me, you
Okay.
know, and he saw something in me that I was like showing, but I
Uh,
was like really shy about. And he just like brought out all
Already just
confidence,
brought everything out to
all the
you.
confidence. Like he just would always speak confidence into me. He would always tell me like, "You got it. You're on another level." It's like we need to do this. After we do this, this is gonna happen. And he's never been wrong.
Well,
And so that's when you talk about you know what it takes to you know help somebody on their journey, like you really got to believe
yeah.
in yourself and your knowledge enough
Hmm.
to really like instill that into somebody else who
Hmm.
may want it but doesn't know how to get there.
So
So it's like as a coach,
yeah,
your confidence
yeah,
is their
the
confidence.
confidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody know this. Coaches need coaches.
Yeah.
Uh, there's nothing wrong with having someone work with you to help you get you to the next level. There's nothing wrong. This doesn't take any credit from you, but you got to be able to dial back your self esteem, your ego, to be able to work coachable.
Hmm.
If you can't be coached, how do you expect to coach somebody else?
Exactly, and I see that all the time, like with people who are in the fitness
Yeah.
industry, who they may hire a coach.
Uh-huh.
One, like for one or two reasons, they're either going to hire a coach to do exactly what the coach
Steal
says,
information
or they're going to hire the coach to look at the information and take the information.
Yeah, that doesn't
from
make
them.
any sense.
So it's just like I see this all the time, and I talk to some guys like, yeah, I hired him, but like my pride got in the way, and you know I just couldn't do it. And I'm like, look at him like, dude, like I've gotten myself in elite shape on my own, like better
Yeah.
shape than most people on my own,
Mhm.
and for me to like literally sit there and be like, I don't know shit, I'm gonna listen to everything he says
Yeah.
and let him take me through the process. It's just like how do I allow myself to be that humble, but you're gonna allow your pride to get in the way when you don't even look like
Yeah.
like you should be training someone.
And you know what goes back to? Self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
Insecurity, narcissistic, sociopath, people with these disorders will not be able to coach them. How do you move? It's like a business.
Yeah.
Business companies, which your body is a company.
Yep.
Your product. So you basically need a CEO. You need all these people in place to help you move forward with your journey. It don't take no from you being a CEO.
Yep.
It'll take that from you.
Nothing.
You need a team around you that's going to help you move forward in your progression. But the stupid, the idiotic people, I used to be there.
Yeah.
I used to want to control everything, but guess what? It gets out of your hands sometimes. And you're ignorant if you think you can do it by yourself. It takes a team.
Yeah, you can't do it on your own. Like,
No.
If everybody could do it on their own,
They would.
Everybody would be in shape.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody, when they're younger, sits down and dreams about being out of shape.
Nah.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a superhero.
Yeah.
I wanted to fly. Like, I wanted to run fast. I wanted
Yeah.
to jump high. You know, nobody sits around and is like, I want to look like, you know, what's his name from Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt? Nobody sits. That's nobody's ideal physique. Everybody wants to look like Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, if it was so easy for people to get there, then everybody would get there. We wouldn't have an obesity problem like we have in the U.S.
No, we wouldn't.
So it's like people need the help, and they need to humble themselves enough to really look at themselves and be like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me.
Yeah.
And then when they get that help, they literally take everything that their coach says and does it, applies that information. So that way, you know, when they do apply that information, whether it works or not, the person that's helping them will have enough data to make the proper adjustments.
Yeah, and you got to have I said, if I speak Portuguese, humility to be able to calm yourself down. Because, like I said, if I'm helping you, like what I do for a living, if I'm helping you, I'm not thinking you want my help to steal from me, which is stealing is an understatement. And it's in the eyes of the person. You can't duplicate me because I know what I know. I can share information with you, but you haven't had the experience of years of studying. I've been doing, like I said, what I do for a living, I've been doing for a very long time.
Yeah, like 30 plus years.
And I have a lot of education behind me. I may talk country and look ignorant with a certain extent or use my words wrong, but I know what I'm doing when it comes to work with people and help somebody achieve their goals. Yeah. When it comes from a physical mobility standpoint. Yeah. I understand, I know like the back of my hand, you know, whatever, but I don't take for granted a person does not know it or somebody needs help. You got to be able to humble you down and be able to help someone else without ego, without bias, and want to help you be successful. Now, I don't mind giving information and helping you move forward yourself, but you're not going to pick my brain. I'm not going to let you pick my brain. I'm going to give it to you voluntarily. Yep. Don't come in and take something from me and manipulate me and want my help. You get what I'm
right, and I mean, at the same time, like, even if you do come in and you do steal my information, like, that's fine, because I'm one step ahead of you anyway.
Yeah, you can't duplicate a person that knows already.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
it happens.
And it's a dirty game when it comes to wellness. But guess what? This is free information. It's called continual education, self-education, learn and experience time in the game, and that's what makes you a authoritative figure in what you're doing. And you got to humility when you work with people and respect people's time they put in the game, and also too costs for services.
Oh yeah,
I'm expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you are too, because guess what? You looked the part. You worked many years. You've been through so many struggles and trials and errors and experiences to maybe pass on to somebody else. You know, that's been a big issue with people not really want to pay for services.
Well, I think it's like this. Like when it comes down to it, like you're if you pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like what I have to offer is valuable. Yeah. You know, it's like, it's not just a workout plan. It's not just a diet plan. Yeah. You can get that shit off Google.
Yeah, you can.
It's the attention to detail. You know, the adjustments that we're going to make along and throughout the process. You know, the way that we're going to look at how you're operating through the week, etc. So if you're not paying anything, if you're not feeling it, if you don't have any skin in the game, you're not really gonna apply that information. Like, I could sell a program for $20, but who's really gonna go through it? Because once they see how much work that it takes, they're like, well, I don't really want to do this, and it was only $20.
Yeah.
So.
You know, people that way, and also too, especially you get a program, people are always asking opinion of others. Why are you asking? If you hire me for my help, I hire him. No. He gives you a program. Man, what you think about this program? What you think about this program? What do you think about this program? Yeah. And then they go down. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You invest in this. Why would you want to have somebody co-sign for you?
Right.
Go with them.
Right.
And people are petty.
Yeah. And it's like, I think like people do want validation behind like what they're doing, you know, from other people. Like, I think a lot of that has to do with the humility. So it's like, if somebody does, you know, decide to work with me, and then they are like, well, what do you think about what he's doing? It's just like, like why does it matter? You know, why does somebody else's opinion matter?
Yeah.
You know, is that just, are you going to use that as an excuse to not follow through with your commitments? You know, because that's what it comes down to. I've never had to take, you know, the information that my coach gave me and bring it to somebody else, because at the end of the day, I'm committed to working with the person that I chose. So if you're not going to be committed, don't work with the person. Just don't work with them.
And that's true. So I'm bringing all that up to let y'all know the everything he's saying is right 100%. Transformation, people do the same exact thing. So the point I'm making with the questions I'm asking him is that you got to respect the person, respect the process, and respect people's time. If you're going to work with them, you know, be all in with them, and just keep the naysayers and opinions from others to the side, and just stay the process.
Right, because there's, no matter what, if you look hard enough, somebody's going to tell you that, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. If you look hard enough, if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for someone to say, like, this isn't the most optimal method, or you could really tweak this and do this better, you're going to find someone who can say that. Yeah. But if you actually just put in the work and, you know, do what needs to be done to become the best version of yourself, like yeah, there might be a better way, but you'll never know if you don't start and just continue. So,
but it comes back to vetting the coach as well. Because like I said, you know, and also look, there's a lot of coaches out there really big, and some of them are small. Some of them are doing put together cookie cutter programs. They're not relevant to anyone. They're just somebody that cook and paste still your program, put on somebody else's program, and just make money off of it. It's not authentic when it comes with working with people and being true to who you are and to your brand to help people move forward with their transformation or even their contest prep. You know, that's a big issue in the wellness industry. People robbing people of just blindly because somebody needs a couple 100 pounds, leading them on, making it feel like they're making progress, but guess what? They know they're doing. They're doing them disjustice.
Yeah, doing them a disservice. And I think even with contest prep, like, especially nowadays, I think, like, a lot of people are going on stage prematurely.
Because the coaches are forcing them, or they feel like they can do it on their own?
Both, really. I think a lot of the times people are seeing, you know, like, the show. You know, they're seeing that people are stepping on stage and doing, you know, whatever. But in reality, like, it's an extreme process. Getting on stage is extreme. Like, it's extreme dieting. You know, if you're, you know, a couple weeks out from a show, you might see your weight, like, go up and down, like 5 or 10 pounds a day. You know what I'm saying? Either way. And, like, that's extreme. And I think a lot of people don't really understand, like, how serious it can be and how prepared their body needs to be. I don't think that, you know, I don't think it's the right choice to get in shape specifically for a show. Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, I want to, you know, they're, you know, 30, 40 pounds overweight. They don't have any muscle maturity. They're just like, I want to do a show. It's like, no, you need to take a couple years, lose the weight, build the muscle. So that way, when you do the competition preparation, you're ready. You're ready for it. And I think the way that I did it, you know, I took my time with it. I spent 5 years. I wrote out a training plan. I wrote out a diet plan for myself, and I literally just stuck to it for 5 years before I decided I'm going to do a competition prep. So by the time I did it, I was ready to peak, essentially. That's pretty much it.
So how much of mental health you feel like is involved in when it comes to wellness, fitness, training? Because you deal with a lot of clients online, correct? And then you deal with a lot of people in person, correct?
I do all online.
Online, okay. So what kind of mental questionnaire or information that you had to get for them to know whether they're gonna stay the course or not? Because I know I got a friend that's a trainer. He does nutrition only, and he tells his clients, if you cannot stay with a training program for no more than 2 to 3 months, we're not a good fit. We're not a good fit for what you're trying to do, because if you can't get consistent with someone that's helping you and that's working with, and you're paying for it, why would I give you the key to help you take it to the next level when it comes to weight loss?
Right. So for me, like, I pretty much set the standard, like, it's minimum 16 weeks.
Wow.
Minimum 16 weeks to work with me. Like, you cannot, like, I will not take you on unless you are committed to 16 weeks.
Okay.
Minimum.
Y'all hear that?
Like, that's just like, that's standard. That's like, that's really not even enough time. You know what I mean?
Because it takes 6 to 8 weeks for a transformation. Is that correct?
I mean, it can. Well, some people are faster than others. Some people are slower than others. Some people transform immediately.
Okay.
You know, some people just like you dial them in properly and they transform so fast and like they have it's perfect. Other people you have to really learn their bodies, and it takes a little bit longer for their bodies to start to adapt.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's going to take a minimum of 16 weeks, not just for the program to work, but for them to implement the habits. For them to get in the routine of prepping their meals. Making sure they're getting their steps in. Setting their day up so that way they can drink enough water.
Okay.
Making sure they're getting enough sleep. Understand going through certain seasons and cycles, because you're gonna see like different seasons. If you you have to understand like it may be wedding season, and you may have to learn how to navigate through different events. Maybe holidays, and you may have to learn how to navigate through certain holidays. So I think minimum 16 weeks is enough time for you to go through enough events to learn how to confidently navigate them.
Do you ask them about you can't say mental health issues. Do you ask them about their personal life? Because like some people married, some people going through divorce, some people doing like you said. Whether why do you ask them why are they doing this? What mental not mental pastor in? I'm trying to figure out how to answer this question. Okay, for example, I have clients I work with on a regular basis. They want me to work with them. So if I'm talking to them on a regular basis, I'm constantly telling them you need to be doing this, and that. And every time I see them, they're not doing it. And I know they're not doing it because I can tell by working with their body. Do you ask them, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
It's more to this. There's more to this because you want me to continue helping you, or you don't want to help yourself and you want me to do everything for you.
Right. And that's the thing. If I see like that there's something beyond, just the execution of the protocols, then I will ask the question like, hey, is everything good? Like, let's talk about it. May hop on like a Zoom call with them and just kind of gauge where they're at mentally. And then, once we gauge that, we come up with, sometimes that means coming up with a new plan, on the spot, like literally like, okay, well, what if we, do X, Y, and Z so that way we can fit this into your lifestyle right now, because it seems like right now you're super stressed out with ABC, so adding this in isn't going to help you on your journey. So my goal isn't just to like I said, like we have initial programs that I write for a client based off of the initial questionnaire, based off of our initial consultation. But like if we find that that's adding like extra stress to their life, we dial things back. If we find that it's not enough, we dial things up. So we're always making sure that
making adjustments.
Yeah, we're either seeing progress or we're making adjustments to continue seeing progress.
So basically, there's no excuse at the end of the day.
It's all about communication. It's all about communication.
Because clients always complain, well, that program didn't work out for me. Well, did you talk to your coach? Nah.
Well, I wouldn't say like like all clients will complain, but I will say like when it comes down to proper execution, like I can't sit here and say like all clients will complain, do this, that, and the other, because there's been times where I've taken people through a journey, it just hasn't been the best fit for me, and I always have to look at myself and be like, okay, where could I have been better? So it's always going to be a learning experience. It's there's something that can be done on both ends for it to be better for everyone.
So it's basically transparency in the front end, and just basically being honest about the program that you work with, and make sure. And that's why I talk about the vetting situation.
Right. And I've been in situations in the past, like when I first started coaching, I was just trying to coach everyone, trying to bring everybody in. But then I realized like, man, I probably shouldn't have took them on, like and that's just part of the game, but you learn from it, or like maybe I'll say like, man, maybe I could have been a little bit more honest with them at the beginning about what was going on, or maybe I could have put my foot down and established my authority earlier on, or maybe I shouldn't have just laid down and let them do their thing.
Run over
so
everything.
Right, that's happened where I've let in the past where I've let clients just run over me, and it never works out well, because then the respect is lost.
Oh yeah.
So
and then representation, your brand is lost
and
as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I've realized like just over the years, just having to develop as a leader in order to help lead people on their journeys.
Yeah, because like I said, because you are an authoritative figure, so you say what it is. This what at the end of the day, this is what the program gonna be. This is what we're gonna do. Boom, boom, boom. This is what I'm looking for. Is it something you're interested in following the program? If you're not, then we may need to part ways and just come to Jesus conversation with yourself. Because you invested money in my time. My time's worth more than your money. So I value my time more than your money. So
Yeah, I mean, you can get money anywhere. Like honestly,
yeah,
like
money.
it's not hard to get money.
No.
So it's not about the money.
Yeah,
Like,
but some people make it is.
Yeah, and it's not though. Like yeah, we have a fee.
Yeah.
You know, for our services, but like I'm not solely in it for the transaction. Like I really want to help people achieve their goals.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. And it's important to do that. Like I said, what I do for a living too, I try to help people, but not everybody want to be helped. They want to be babysitted, or what's the word for it? Handheld. That's what it is.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like, I mean, we can guide you to a certain point, but you know, if we're at a mud puddle and you need to jump over, if I'm asking you to jump, but you're just like laying in the mud,
I can't do it.
I can only drag you through the mud for so long before I'm just like, this isn't
dead weight.
this isn't gonna go anywhere. So it's like I'm willing to, you know, pull you through the mud to let you know that I'm there, but like after a certain point, it's like, all right, you gotta stand up, let's go.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, and that's true. People want to be let's say coddled,
yeah,
coddled and held and primed up. Oh, well, you're doing a good job. No, you're not. You still got this 50 pounds you already lost yet. You know, so people. And sometimes people make excuses for themselves why they're not getting what they get into. Like,
right, and then so like at that point, you gotta like really like up the stakes a little bit. You know, make sure that they're, you know, being accountable. Like implement consequences. You know, for people. Like I think a lot of people aren't used to having consequences for their misactions. Like I remember, you know, like my coach, he, like if I missed, like I never missed, but like if he saw me like starting to just slip a little bit, even in my off season, like he was just like get on my ass if he saw me miss a day of tracking a meal. Like, you know, he'd implement consequences. Yeah. Like, well, if this doesn't happen, like, you know, who are you gonna pay someone $100 if you miss next week? I'm just like, shit. All right.
Oh yeah, the
like,
accountability.
Yeah, like all right.
They don't too serious.
Yeah.
People don't think there's consequences to anything.
Yeah.
Well, because I chose to do this, whatever. I'm paying him for his time. Like, get out of here, dude. That man's time is valuable. Why would you want to waste somebody's time because you're taking the situation for granted? I slap it on big time. I make him next week. You doing all protein, no carbs.
Yeah, no carbs.
Yeah, scrim over big time.
Well, no, I mean, I try not to do that, but I mean, I try to, like, I try to make it, you know, still sustainable.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I obviously, yeah, we want to make sure that people understand the severity of the commitment that they made, because it is a big commitment. You're committing to life change. You know, you're committing to changing your daily habits. You're committing to making sacrifices. You know, you're committing to doing something that is relatively uncomfortable to become better. So, you know, we want to make sure that we're, you know, motivating you throughout the process. We want to make sure that we're, you know, setting you up for success. But at the end of the day, it's like, you got to take that step.
So how many years experience do you have doing this?
So I really started online back in 2020, like when everything shut down.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. So like I had to learn fast because I was doing in person, and you know, once COVID happened, you know,
everything changed.
We weren't training in person, so I had to make a quick shift into the online space.
So how much do you value education when it comes to studying your craft, like we talked about, diving into it, really understanding your craft?
I value education, but I don't value education as much as I value experience.
Okay, and that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah, like you can learn the basics. You can learn whatever you need to learn, but a lot of the times you learn via application.
Yeah, I got
so
you. Trial and error and stuff like that.
No, I wouldn't even say trial and error. Like you have a game plan. Like you know what you want to do.
Okay.
But like you fine tune the process. Like if it was just education, I could just read a book and everything would be perfect.
Okay.
And I would never have to check in on a client because it would be perfect because I learned it the right way. But it's just like, no, I value the experience. So it's like every situation is different with every single individual. So, you know, I value the experience more than the education, because I can write 2 people with the exact same, you know, specifications, the exact same measurements, the exact same lifestyle, the exact same program, but the adjustments that I make along the way for each person are going to be totally different.
Okay, so it's the customization of the program based on the person's lifestyle was what makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's the experience. So like I'm saying, like 2 people can be at the same start point, and like we could. This is just an example.
Okay.
Like I could write you the exact same strength training program, the exact same, diet. Like say they're both the same weight, same body structure, almost identical. But what's going to be different is the adjustments that we make along the way.
Okay, and also what about the personality of the person, their work ethics and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, so for you, we're gonna, make sure that we do a refeed, with X amount of extra carbs, and we're gonna, up your fat and drop your protein on Saturday. And another person's like, no, you're just gonna have a cheat meal.
So you experience both of you experience in the training and the nutrition part of it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's okay.
Yeah.
Not many people are diverse in both of them. Sometimes people know one part of it, the other part of it. Oh wow, okay, I didn't know that. Did I know that? I don't think I knew that.
I never really talk about it. Like I don't really talk about nutrition that much.
But it has every bit to do with in the adjustments of the body's person's body.
Yeah.
Every bit. It has just as much to do with the exercise. And because if it's like this, if the muscle is not getting enough nutrition, how is the muscle tend to grow and to make changes? You know what I'm saying? Unless you have a good coaching worker with that can, or a team. One person does this, one person does this, but you are like the one, like the all situation.
Yeah,
like the combo.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop.
Hey, that works out better than
it's a one-stop shop, and that's why I say it's like a 16-week program because I can't see these people in person.
Oh, okay, I understand now. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I can't see you in person. I can't meet with you, so like because it's all online.
Yeah.
And so we really got to make sure that we are really doing our best to learn as much information as we can throughout the process to really set this individual up for lifelong success.
Wow. Okay, now I understand 6 weeks because I got you now. I'm like 16 weeks, and that means that's somebody doing nutrition and training aspect of it because the training aspect of it don't really take the long, but if you implement both of them, because it takes like 6 weeks to get into a regular.
You should be able. You should be able to see progress in the gym within 8 weeks. Like if you track your progress, every single week for 8 weeks.
But if you're eating,
but like what I'm saying is just like periodized training. Like you should be able to see like progress in your lifts within 8 weeks if you are executing properly with progressive overload. Okay. So like that's fine. But like as far as really seeing a massive physical change, you can get it done in 16 weeks. You can lose 40 pounds in 16 weeks if you try.
So I talk to them, I can't lose 10 pounds, I can't lose. Yeah, be kidding me. So basically, they're just making excuses in a sense, or they haven't right to back.
They haven't. I don't know if they're making excuses. I just don't think they have the right plan for them.
Okay.
Right. I think a lot of the times, people will think that they need to just eat less to lose weight, or they need to just move more, or I don't need to do strength training because I want to actually lose weight, so they just do cardio.
What about women? They don't want to get big.
Well, yeah, I mean it's
same situation.
You gotta work really hard to get big. That's the thing. Like that stuff doesn't happen on accident. You still need to build muscle. If you can't tone muscle that you don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you want to get toned, you're not going to get toned doing cardio.
No, you're not.
You need to lift weights. You need to fuel your body properly, and don't be too attached to that number on the scale if you're really wanting to get quote toned. Understand that you may lose you can lose 5 pounds and look like a totally different person.
Yeah,
you can lose 20 pounds and look like a totally different person. You can lose 0 pounds and look absolutely different than you did when you started. So the number on the scale isn't necessarily the solution. It's just part of the equation.
Wow.
It's a data point. So I look at that number and I look at that, and if it's not changing as fast as they might expect, I look at everything else. I look at their sleep. I look at their activity. I look at how their clothes are fitting. I look at their measurements. It's like, well, you've lost 3 inches on your waist, even though you're the same quote weight. That means that you are losing fat and building muscle, which is literally the life hack. That's one of the hardest things to do for most people. Lose fat and build muscle. Yeah. And if you're doing that, you're doing something right. Yeah, you're on it.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that, and that does make sense. 16 weeks. I know some people. I thought I was thinking 24 weeks. It's because it takes so much a long time.
6 months is a good time too, but I think 16 weeks is
it's like a sweet spot.
Well, because it's a solid commitment.
Okay,
I can commit to 4 months. A little bit more than a quarter of the year.
Okay, and that's not bad. I didn't
It's 4 months.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's really good.
But in 4 months, you got to understand like
You can
what
make a big change.
what's gonna happen in your life over 4 months. You're probably gonna go through a couple of different seasons in 4 months. You you go through different periods of your lifestyle. Like say you start at the end of the summer, you'll go through the holidays and you learn how to navigate the holidays, and you're gonna be good. And then you keep them going. You just keep them going. Beyond that as well. So,
is your business more transformation or more athletes?
I do more lifestyle transformation right now,
Okay.
but I'm transitioning over to coaching athletes.
Oh, coaching athletes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for the stage.
Okay. How many athletes are you coached already so far?
So right now, I got one guy who's 4 weeks out. He's looking great, Isaiah. He's lean. His first show. I think he'll do well. He should take his novice division. Like, shouldn't have any
No problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he local?
No, he's actually in Chicago. So
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
he's doing really well. And then we got a couple of other guys up in Canada that we're working with.
Okay. Do you travel? Do you travel to your clients, or do they?
So
pay you?
I do plan to travel to see some of these shows depending on where they're at. So we have a couple of athletes that we're going to be working with in Canada. So we're going to be bringing a bunch of them there. So I do want to go.
Oh, that's not bad. So basically, you set a program together. If your client wants you, say hypothetically, I'm in Canada, just an example. You get a passport ready to go. They say, hey, if you want this is the program we got going on. If you need extra, provisions, you were responsible for paying for the, getting me there. I can do this for you.
I just do it myself.
No, what I'm saying, would you go there to visit them to kind of see?
I mean, if they want more, that one-on-one guidance, like, if they want me to come, like, yeah, they can.
That's available.
Yeah, but for the most part, like, if you're gonna do a show, like, I will be there. I will do my best to be there. In those waning hours before the show, because that's just such an important time.
Oh yeah, because you want to dial them in 100%. The nervous and everything else.
And if not, like I will be available like on the
call away.
Call away. So we're doing check-ins like every 4 hours. Those like 3 days out, every 4 hours, just send them. And making those adjustments as needed. Obviously, like I said, we can dial you in a plan to say, oh yeah, go ahead and follow it. Just do what we're saying. But like, we really want to make sure that you are peaked. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that might mean, just like taking out some carbs, maybe adding some carbs, maybe, dropping a little bit of water. Like, it's just little things that we have to do, little intricacies that we have to do that are different for every single person.
Everything.
So yeah, we want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can.
So what is the phase to your programs? I know transformational has a phase, that you go through when you work with athletes. Is that different? Is there a different transformational phase for transformation lifestyle or an athlete?
It just really depends on the athlete.
Okay.
It depends on the level that the athlete's at.
So okay, I'm a man that's in my 30s, 40 years old. I'm 50 pounds overweight, and I come to you and say, hey, I need some guidance. I understand you do both aspects of the program. And I understand your program is 6 weeks. So what is the phase that I'm going through? What did you put me through when I first get with you, so people can out there?
So like most of the guys that I work with are probably 15, 20 pounds overweight.
Okay.
Have a lot of fat to lose. But they're not like obese. So what I've been doing lately is structuring their programs into 8-week phases. Two 8-week phases.
2 8-week phases.
Yeah,
okay.
And that first phase, we're really just focusing on mastering movements.
Okay.
Mastering movements in the gym, making sure that you're getting stronger. Making sure that you're getting leaner, and then those second 8 weeks, that's when we really like turn it up. Like as far as with the diet, really.
Oh, okay.
We do turn up the training. We switch it up a little bit, following the same type of pattern, but we really dial in that diet and get very aggressive those second 8 weeks, because at that point, the body's nourished, it's been building muscle, and at that point we're able to really just push it a little bit harder. And I think that may be a little bit contraindicated to what most people do. A lot of people just push it really hard at the beginning, make sure that they
because people get sore, people quit.
But you can force progress very, very much at the beginning. But at the same time, if I bring a guy in, I can drop his calories very low, and he will lose weight. but then at a certain point, like it's gonna stall out because you can only bring their calories so
plateau.
low.
Yeah, I got you.
So like what I like to do is start them out around like a maintenance level
Mhm.
calories, you know, and they may lose a couple pounds, but their body's gonna change a lot in that 8 weeks. And but then those second 8 weeks, we just drop the hammer and
not put them to the ground, huh?
yeah, we just drop it because like that's because they're ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to make sure that their body is ready for the work that you're about to put them through. You know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what I do.
Well, no, it's fine. It's relevant. So what about the weight training? The training regimen? You said, is it more or less moderate training level, or is this more?
No, it's intense. It's still intense.
Intense.
It's
okay.
still intense, but with the diet though, like the diet, we want to make sure that in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
they are fueled properly to really handle the.
So are the people experiencing working out?
For the most part, the people who do come to me have experience.
What about people who don't not experience working out? Because remember what I said, I'm 40 some years old and I'm 50 pounds overweight.
So that's going to be a little bit different. So like with that, if you're a lot more,
because there's a lot of people out there in corporate America that's overweight.
Right. So we're going to start you out probably more like on a 3 to 4 day a week schedule. Maybe 3 full body days or upper lower,
okay.
where it's not super intense. We're just getting the body moving, doing a little bit of cardio, and then really dialing the diet in.
Okay.
Because at that point, like we don't want to add too much stress to the body. Because if we add too much stress to the body, you're not going to lose the weight that you want to lose. So we really just keep it very moderate at the beginning and allow your body to adapt.
Oh, really? Because some people they do the opposite.
Yeah, no, I like to do it.
That's progressive.
I've found that it's better to be progressive than just aggressive.
Okay, so that's why I go back to people. You need to vet your training. That's actually a good point because you push somebody too hard, the muscles start to be sore.
Yeah, well, and delayed onset muscle soreness will happen. Like no matter if you start them out at 5 days a week or 3 days a week. But the idea is, since we do everything online, we have to make it in a way that is just a little bit uncomfortable, but not like super stressful to their life where they're like dreading going to the gym.
Okay, that makes sense.
I want you to look forward to it. Like I want I want to set you up in a way to where you do week 1, it's hard. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But you do week 2, it's gonna be a little bit easier. You know, week 3, you're gonna be like, damn, I'm so much further along than I was in week 1. But if I'm just like pounding you to the ground, you're not even gonna want to do the second workout.
Well, you know what? I can't agree with that because people get bored. They get to like it's too much for them. They can't handle the stress. It's too much on my body sore all the time. When the soreness go away, so you know, and that's a good point to make because a lot of people they go into it just want to crush them, crush them, just and make them like I don't feel like doing this no more, and they get tired and they want to do it no more.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah, and that's not good for your brain either.
Right. I want to develop a plan for the individual that they can actually do for 16 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Man, we cover a lot of information, man. So, is there anything else you want to add to it? Because, like I said, it seems like you do have a good program put together.
Yeah.
And you have relevant point. You have a lot of acts. You have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
Like people in general, and like I said, it's just follow the process, understand the process, respect the process.
Absolutely.
And keep moving through it. So, just also to your coach. What's your coach? Who's your coach?
Don Lamb. We're with DIY Body. I'm actually one of the coaches with DIY Body.
Okay.
Now we are one of the #1 lifestyle transformation brands, like in the North America. So we're doing really well. DIY Body started out in Canada, British Columbia.
Okay.
Has a very good name up there, and then I am the first coach from the U.S. that has
Wow.
brought the brand here. So yeah, we're doing some big things, making some big moves. So if you are looking for a lifestyle transformation, contest prep transformation, DIY Body, we are the fitness professionals that solve your fitness problems.
Is it Instagram or
at DIY Body?
Okay, y'all can see that. Can you DIY Body?
At
Okay.
DIY Body.
And we're adding stuff information inside the link so y'all can see what's going on and then follow the link.
Yep.
Your handler on Instagram.
Ben Pruitt _fit.
Okay.
Yep.
We also added to it too. So what else do you have to offer? What you got going on besides the training? Oh, you got any upcoming shows?
We're going to be
personally?
We're going for the pro card in 2023. So
you want your pro card?
I haven't gotten my pro card yet.
Check the pro card.
Yeah, right. But we don't have it yet. But it's inevitable, and we're just gonna push as hard as we possibly can to get it. Over these next several months, we're going into my growth phase. We just started the actual growth phase on Monday. So we're pushing the calories up, you know, increasing the intensity. My body's recovered from my last prep, so now I can really like push a little bit harder in the gym, and it's about to get crazy. I will be undeniable in 2023.
Okay, let me ask this question: how much therapy are you doing yourself? What kind of therapy? Because people don't. I'm gonna get in this situation too. A lot of guys get out there and train. What therapy are you doing? The dark side of wellness is your therapy. That's
Yeah.
a part of fitness level and nutrition. Because I'm sure it's with you. No matter how hard you train, your body breaks down. The fascia, the tendons, ligaments, all that stuff gets overutilized.
Yeah.
Not saying you are. People take gear. It's the
Yeah.
same situation too. That actually speeds up the muscle growth, but weakens the tendons and ligaments as well. So you got to think about that, and also too, without proper muscle mobility and movement, the vitamins and nutrients do not absorb in your body as well.
Right.
So you need to have some type of therapy, not mental therapy, but more physical type of therapy.
So I don't
take care
see
of that.
any therapists right now, but I do a routine like every single day before I train and after I train. It's just I really just make sure that I'm, you know, it's more just SMR, self myofascial release. That's what I do.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's been working.
You sure?
You
You might need to look into something, because like I said, I work with a lot of athletes that are gigantic, huge, muscular.
Yeah.
And when you start working with the muscle and lengthening the tissues, neurologically, functionality, the muscle tends to grow faster. And you can use, like I said, have tennis therapy. They have all kinds of stuff to use to activate the muscle for it to perform at the next level.
Yeah.
Because when you are, I'm only just speaking to you because that's what I do for a living. If you keep it here, you only grow here. But if you take to the next level of muscle, fascia, actual tissue, muscle manipulation, how the muscle can open up and increase the volume of oxygen to the muscle, it's on a whole different level.
I would like to dive into that. I will say that that's something that I've told myself, like, you know, since I'm going for the pro card this year, it's like I really need to take my recovery essentially to the next level.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get with you on that. Maybe you could, you know, help lengthen out my muscles. You know.
And it's necessary and also muscle engaging.
Yeah.
Because I work with guys personally that muscles they're big already, but the activity and the activation of the muscles are totally different. They don't have it. They have movement, contraction, but not like hypertrophy. People speak a lot about hypertrophy. They say overdo this and that, but hypertrophy is not that. It's something totally different from a therapy standpoint, not a training standpoint.
Yeah.
It's how do you tax the muscle? You can tax the muscle with 5 pounds. You tax the muscle with 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's all about like recruiting the proper fibers.
Yeah, and how you recruit them.
Yep.
Your muscle, they have to be available. So if you got 10 fascia in your thigh, it's crazy example, and you only recruiting 3. You fatigue out those 3, but guess what? You got 7 that's laying around not functional.
Not doing nothing.
And that's what comes from muscle inability. There's no functionality there. So you can only fatigue and tax out what you have control over, but the other ones don't have to contribute at all. So guess what? When you go on stage and posing, or you're trying to do a lifestyle change or transformation, you have missing parts there. They're not functional. They're not present in what you're trying to accomplish. That's why you look at somebody. I can look at somebody look at their leg and tell, okay, why you off? Why your legs not developed where you need to develop? It's the eye is there. You can tell. You can look at a person's body and tell why they're not looking the way they're looking, because just don't have to do with them training hard. Don't have to do with the eating nutritionist. It has to do with the muscle and how the muscle is displaced and how it's performed and how it's been utilized and what's not being supported in the movements. That's where therapy comes in at. And you can tell that by looking at the person's body. Just, okay, you missing this not firing, this not firing, this not firing. You're missing here, you're missing here. But I'm training really hard. I'm moving the weight. I moved 600 pounds yesterday.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't have to do nothing. There's no functionality there in your muscles, period.
Right.
You can come from, and that's on a different level of, that's why a lot of them pros, they have someone taking care of them in that sense to where they want to get to the next level and keep going to the next level. Basketball players, NBA players, they all do the same exact thing. They have someone that actually takes care of their body. LeBron James spends millions of dollars on therapy.
Every year.
Yeah, so that's not an exception for bodybuilding and powerlifting as well.
Yeah, I will say that I'm not the best when it comes to like my therapy, my recovery. I'll admit it.
But like I said, there's room for change.
Yeah.
And that can take you to undeniably, and like you gotta be crazy if this is you got to put some glass on. You see, this is not my time. But it's my time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just something to think about for people out there. People don't talk about, we talk about therapy all the time. We talk about fitness training all the time, but therapy is something that is not really talked about when it comes to transformation, weight loss, picking up muscle, getting ready for show. Is not talked about at all.
Yeah.
And people, I think they sweep on the rug. It's not really nothing serious.
Yeah.
But it's actually detrimental to your changes in your progression for your take it to the next level at all levels. Because we're human. We're human. Our body tear down. We got to rebuild every single day. We got to do certain kind of cosmetics input to keep your body, growing and take it to the next level, on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, hey, it's been a pleasure having being here. He shared a lot of insights. Hope we can talk to him again. This guy is very knowledgeable. He's very experienced. He looks like he know what you're talking about. I'm just messing with him, but he looks to talk. Yeah, he looks to talk. So he walks the walk and talks the talk. And he shared a lot of good information and insight for us and for you all. And I asked the questions and I hope, wish you all have some questions for me to ask him. And maybe you can look him up online, IG, whatever, and sort him out. And I'm pretty sure he'll be able to answer some questions. Don't waste this man time. This man about business.
So I'll help you out if you need it. But yeah, we're about taking you to the next level, man.
Okay. And y'all, you're local, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
Urban. Okay.
Yeah, but we're global.
You're global.
Yeah,
Okay.
we help everybody,
Okay.
We are all around the map, all around the clock.
What gym you train at?
All of them.
All of you.
Yeah.
You like me.
Yeah, I get around.
Anywhere else, I play my head. That's where I'm at.
Depends on what I'm training that day.
Okay, that makes sense. I used to travel different gyms myself, but that makes sense. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
But guys, hey, Eugene here for Performance and Wellness.
Ben Pruitt with DIY Body. Start your transformation today.
Alrighty, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again if he has time. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Peace.
What you think about it?
That was good. Let's see what everybody